I'm a total gym rat, and I love climbing indoors. May it be bouldering or lead climbing. I love it both, and it's just fantastic. And Berlin is the perfect city to do that. There are actually 4 climbing gyms and a whopping number of 10 bouldering gyms. And if it wouldn't be for Corona, you would be able to climb hundreds of new boulders and routes every month. But of course, nothing compares to a good outdoor session. But if you want to enjoy a good outdoor session, Berlin is definitely not the best city for this. Berlin basically is as flat as a piece of paper. There are no natural formations to climb on. No rocks, nothing. There is some artificial stuff. You can climb on bridges and artificial towers and some other stuff. But this is just not the same. But where do you go when there is nothing in Berlin? Well, the closest you can get for lead climbing is Le Buyun. It's an old stone quarry where you can go climbing. And it's a 2-hour drive from Berlin roundabout. But I'm not a big fan of it, I must say. My favorite place to go is of course Frankenjura. But this is at least a 4-hour drive. And since our son isn't the biggest fan of driving longer than 2 to 3 hours, the chances that we get to Frankenjura this year are kinda small. So therefore I thought I might pick up a new challenge, which is basically just around the corner. It's here, at the bunker. The bunker is an old remnant from World War II, and the Allied troops tried to blow it up for many times after the Second World War. Only the northwest side of the bunker was held in place since there were the railways, which shouldn't be harmed through an explosion. In 1988, the bunker got a coating with shotcrete in which footholds, handholds and bolts were inserted. Since then, the bunker is one of the biggest artificial concrete sport climbing constructions in Germany. And my challenge is to climb every route at the bunker. And the best thing is that the bunker is located directly across the street from my usual gym that I climb at, the Magic Mountain Climbing Gym. As far as I know, there are around 58 routes at the bunker, but 15 of them have a second pitch with a roof. And the first pitch is mainly face climbing. There are some corners you can climb and some grooves and bulges, but the rest is mainly just vertical face climbing. And the second pitch is always a roof. So this adds up to 73 routes in total. Out of the 73 routes, I've done already 7. Most of them in 2014 actually, when I was climbing there for a season. I've climbed there for a couple of days back then and mainly climbed the easier ones. I've only done 17A back then and mainly 6A, 6B, 6C plus maybe. The routes at the bunker range from 5C to 8A plus. Most of them are somewhere in the range of 6B up to 7B plus or something like this. A few harder ones and a few easier ones. The climbing style at the bunker is very fingery. You mainly have small crimps and pockets. Monos, 2-finger pockets, slopey pockets. The footholds are a range of very good footholds within the holes you grab as well, but also very tiny, slippery footholds. And since it is concrete and not real rock, the concrete gets quite slippery after some time, and therefore you have to really trust your feet. And there is a lot of graffiti at the start of nearly every route, which makes up for an extra slippery start. A lot of the routes, which are 6B and harder, are actually supposed to be harder when you're smaller than 1 meter and 80, or at least the topo says so. Since I haven't climbed any of these harder routes, I have to see myself if I run into some troubles, since I'm just 1 meter and 65, so I'll see. So the plan is to climb every route, as I said, and the plan is also to film every route. Since I've done some of the routes already, which I haven't filmed back then in 2014, I will only reclimb them when I've done most of the other routes. So for now, I concentrate on the routes I haven't done yet. I will film them. But since some of the routes I have already done have a second pitch, which I haven't done, I will reclimb them anyway. I really don't know if I'm able to do this challenge basically, and I really don't know how long it takes. But there is a website which is actually for bunker climbing, and there it looks like some people have already done this challenge, or I don't know if it was a challenge for them, but at least they have already climbed all the routes, because when you look into their profiles, you see that they ticked nearly all the routes there. So it looks like it is possible, but I don't know how long they took. So I'll have to see for myself. And while I was babbling away about the bunker, I showed you my ascent of the easiest route here. The Normalweg it's called, and it's graded 5C. I've done this one actually a couple of times and do it nearly every time I'm there to warm up my fingers, but since it's very crowded now, I have to find other ways to warm up my fingers. And this one's basically quite easy. It's lots of jugs, no real crux sequence, and mainly just very straightforward climbing. And the good thing is that the freezing winter is slowly coming to an end and the temperatures are rising, so even wimps like me can go out and climb. So I can start to tackle this challenge.